This is called Alive by Piers Paul Reed, published by J.B. Lippenlet Company, 2002, New York print. Storyline, basically, these rugby players, crash in the Andes Mountains. There's about 50 or so people in the plane. It goes down because of turbulence. Basically, it falls out of the sky. The tail breaks off, and the fuselage slides down the mountain, comes to a stop. All the seats jam forward from the impact, and like half the people are killed or crushed. And within the first three nights, the injured that are kind of trapped into the seats die, basically. Get a knife on him. So first 3 nights, basically half the people are dead because either they died on impact or they froze to death or they bled to death. So then there's about like 30-ish people, and they start looking around for stuff to eat, trying to block, the back end's broken off, so they kind of pile the seats and stuff in the back to kind of make a blockade from keeping the snow and wind out. So they make multiple trips, going up and down the mountain, walking to the tail to find more provisions, find a battery, to try to make the radios work so they can get contact, because they can hear stuff on the radio, they just can't transmit it. So they, in total, were stuck on the mountain, I'm pretty sure like 2 months, and the thing that saved them was, let's see, Canessa and Parado, two of the people that are kind of the strongest. They ate a bunch of food, a bunch of meat, because they go cannibal about a month or less into their ordeal. They turn to cannibalism, and these two guys climb up the cliff face, and they see like the direction they need to go. So they climb down. They walk for like 11 days, and they finally find help. They get rescued. 11 people survive. So the setting is they're in the Andes Mountains. It's really cold, pretty high up there. Helicopters, when they were getting rescued, were having a hard time getting to that altitude, so that just shows you how high it is. The theme, basically the conflict, is the plane crash puts in a situation where they have to decide, are we going to all die, or to have a chance of survival, are we going to eat people, because they ran out of food after like week 2. They were drinking alcohol and eating chocolate and stuff after they ran out, and they were scavenging, they couldn't find anything to eat, and they had half the people were dead, so they finally, after about 4 or 5 days, turned to cannibalism, kind of balancing on should we eat them, should we not, and they kind of had to justify, is it right to eat people? And in the end, it was the right decision. 11 of them survived, and it seemed like some of them were kind of screwed up for life, kind of changed them mentally. So that was the theme, and the conflict was, should we eat people or should we not? 4 characters were Zerbino. He was tough and also calm, though. He kind of took control and made people stop freaking out, because a lot of times people were freaking out. He kind of took control. And then there was Roy Harley. He was kind of a pansy, and he went on an expedition. One of the times they sent him back because he couldn't handle it. He was kind of a young, skinny kid. And then there was Canessa, and then Parado. And they were kind of the people that always kept the high spirits and kind of were optimistic. I think Canessa kind of wanted to give up pretty close to the end of him and Parado's two-man journey, but Parado kept them going, and they eventually saved everybody. My opinion on the book, it's a great book. I started reading it last year because I needed a book to read, but that was near the end of the year, and so I only got through like a third of it, but I wanted to keep reading it, so this year I picked it up and read it about a month or 2 ago, the whole way through, and it was an awesome book, always energetic, always having a bunch of conflict, and all in all, it was a really good book and entertaining the whole way through. So that is Alive by Piers Paul Reed. You're welcome, Mr. Cochran.